What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DJ Base, DJ Bass, because music is the foundation to every hit, unless it's an acapella. And if you tuned into this channel, you tuned into the Beat Break. And in this episode of the Beat Break, we're gonna be looking at a Rick Ross and Jeezy type beat. The title track is Born to Kill, off Rick Ross' latest release, Port of Miami 2. It's not an exact copy of that beat, but it's close enough. We're just trying to match that energy and show you all how you can do the same thing. Why stand on the sidelines cheering when you can get in the game and score some points? And with that out the way, let's get into this tutorial, all right? And okay, for my subscribers who tune into my videos, you know how I always start. We usually start with this tempo tapper, and we just tap out a tempo according to how we feel. And wherever it stopped, hey, that's what it is. But we didn't have to do that this time. This time we just pulled up that song, Born to Kill, and we just tapped along with the beat, and we came up with a 160 tempo. And this is what that sounds like. Okay, you can see it's a pretty fast tempo, all right? Okay, and when we usually get started, we usually start with the snare, and that's what we did. We started with a snare, and we chose this snare right here. Okay, we normalized it. We went in here, clipped it, and boosted. Okay, and we also offset it, shifted it quite a bit. Okay, we're just trying to get everything room to breathe so it could just be heard clearer. Okay, and we talking milliseconds here, so you won't notice that much of a difference, but you'll feel the swing. Okay, and so we just drop that on the 3 and the 4, the 3 and the 7, and right here we dropped in a few accent snares. Okay, and this is what that sounds like. Okay, and this is not the exact snare drop that they had in the beat, but hey, it's close enough, and we're not trying to make a replica once again. Okay, so we just gonna move on with this, and we're gonna get rid of this metronome at this time, and we're gonna go to the hi-hats. Okay, and we're gonna see if we can make our own metronome in the form of a hi-hat pattern. Okay, and basically what we did to get this pattern, we clicked on here, fill each 2 steps. Okay, we did that, and then right here, halfway through the first bar, we added a roll, and we add several rolls toward the end of the beat. Okay, and as we went on, we added fewer and fewer notes in those rolls, as you can see. All right, and then we just dubbed that up and repeated it for the next 2 bars. This is what that pattern sounds like. Okay, yeah. Okay, and you can see we just dropped those rolls right after the snare. The snare drops here, then we have a roll. Snare drops here, we have a roll, and just so on and so forth until you get to the end of the bar towards the turnaround, and then we just let the hi-hats drop. Okay, kind of sporadically. Okay, and that's just a little quick technique for some of you all who are new to beat making. When you want to deal with those rolls, hey, you can drop it right after the snare or right before the snare. Okay, and it's just a matter of choice, and that's just something to get you started with your rolls right off the bat. either before the snare or after the snare. And with that out the way, we're just gonna keep moving on. The next sound we decided to come with was the kick drum, okay? And we chose this kick drum right here. Okay, pretty good kick. And we normalized it. We didn't do anything right here, but we did go to the wrench tool and shifted it. Just a little less of a time shift than the last sound, okay? Like I said, nothing is right on the one, okay? We just giving everything some room, okay, and clarity and a certain swing, all right? And we drop that kick pattern, and this is the pattern. As you can see, it's a pretty simple kick pattern in the beginning at the first bar, and by we get to that second bar, it kind of act the fool a little bit, okay? And that's kind of what they was doing in that song. We're not going verbatim, like I said. We just trying to match that energy and show you all how you can get that $1 million energy, okay, as well. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Pretty nice little kick pattern there. And at this point, we decided to go ahead and go with this percussive instrument right here. Okay. Now this is not the exact sound that they used, but it's what we used, okay? We didn't do anything here. All we did was normalize it, and I think, yeah, we didn't go in there and shift it. I think this is the only sound that we did not time shift, okay? And so we drop that right before the snare. The snare drop here, we drop it right here, okay? The snare drops here, we dropped it right here. And you can hear the bounce that it gives the beat when we drop that in. Yeah. Okay. All right. And we bopping, we rocking, and we knocking. And it's time to go ahead and add this 808. We normalized it. We didn't crunch it, okay? But we did go to the wrench tool and we time shifted it a little bit, okay? Everything's got its place, its pocket, all right? And basically on that 808 pattern, we just followed the kick, okay? We got the kick drum right here. We got the 808 right here. As you can see, it's just following along with the kick drum. In a few places right in here, we dropped the 808 without the kick, and round in here, we dropped the 808 without the kick a couple of times, a few times. Right here, okay? Right here, and up in here somewhere. About 3 or 4 places, we dropped the 808 without the kick. And basically what we're doing right here is just a few octave jumps, okay? We're on C right here with the main 808, and then we went up to C6, okay? From C5 to C6, and that's just octave jumps. And that's what we're doing in the first 2 bars. And then by the time we get to the second and third bars, we added some more pitch shifts in between those octaves, just to give it some interest and to change it up from the first half. We also double up some notes, and it's not the exact pattern, but it's close enough. Right, and now we rocking. I'm gonna just play that back one more time before we get into the musical instrument part of this tutorial. And if you like what you've seen so far, man, if you're still here, why not go ahead and just subscribe to your boy channel and see what we have coming up next. All right, but we're gonna play this drum track one more time, and we're gonna be done with the drums, and we're gonna move on to the music section. Yeah. Okay, man, pretty good. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna mute all these drum instruments, and we're gonna go to this first melody. We went to Omnisphere for this sound. Boom, and here it is. Okay, we're in C sharp natural minor, and we're just using the first 4 degrees of that scale. Okay, just the first 4 notes of that scale to develop this little melody. Okay, and we basically went up, down, up higher, back down, up a little bit, and then we just went back to the 1. Okay, and all we did was highlight this, copied it over, and just duplicated it for 4 bars, 3 or 4 bars. Okay, all right, and this is the pattern. Okay, it's just a nice little melody. This is not the exact melody, okay, or the sound. We just wanted a sound that gave us that feel and melody that captured that type of feel that melody gave. Okay, it was like just a clock in the background. Okay, and the beat came on. He just told his story in time. Okay, and it was just one of those tracks, and it was a repetitive melody. Okay, and I'm gonna show y'all something. They use a nice little technique in this beat. Okay, because you see we on C5, and for that next instrument we went to Omnisphere again. Okay, and we picked up in this instrument. Nope. Okay, those are the notes, and you can see as you hit it, as the velocity change, the sound change. So we have a lot of velocity changes down here. Okay, and basically when you put this with that other note, that other melody, even though it's the same melody, what you have is one playing C#5, one playing C#6. So we went up an octave. Okay, and we just broadened that frequency range. All right, and with the change in this instrument, by it being a kind of a complex instrument, just not one simple instrument, sounding instrument, it's kind of got some texture to it. And along with this one, okay, they both kind of have some texture to them, and when you put them together, it sounds like this. Okay, and then when you play them by themselves, it sounds a little different. And when they play together, just give you a different sound. And when you have these little breaks in your beats, like right here, you can just come in with one in, one out, both in, another one out. Okay, and this just give you a little flavor that's hard to detect. Okay, it won't jump out at you, but your ear will notice that little interesting change that happened. Okay, all right, and with that out the way, man, listen, we're gonna go to the next instrument, and like I said, we're gonna show y'all some techniques they use, or the periods that they use to me, because we came with the same melody. Okay, but we went up another octave. So we did it with 3 octaves. We broadened that frequency range even more. Okay, so, and with that, even though we used the same melody, with this melody, what they did was this. We grabbed this tool and we cut that in half, and then we just shortened the notes, and hey, we came up with this melody. And when this come in, it just add that high energy. And by us cutting the notes in half like that, it just kind of seem to speed the tempo up, okay? And as you can see, like I said, we didn't drop anything pretty much on the grid, all right? As you can see, these notes are offset just to give it a certain type of bounce, all right? And at this point, the music was almost complete, but I noticed in that track they had another instrument in there. Okay, and if we look at this sound here, this instrument here, we'll go up here and go to audio. Okay, they had something in there, something like this, like a percussive instrument, and it dropped after every bar, at the beginning of every bar. Okay, so we decided not to do that. Instead, we dropped it in a few places where we had some stops in the beat, okay, and to add some interest. And what we did instead, we came to Sakar FL Studio plugin, native plugin. We added this bass note, okay. And see, we just hold it down a whole bar, okay, 4 bars. And as you see, once again, we're not on the grid, okay. Nothing is right on the grid. Everything has its own little space in its milliseconds, like I said, and it just give it a certain sound. It's hard to hear that it's off, but you can just feel the difference in the music, okay. And so when we added that, it just kind of filled everything out, and we'll play it. Okay, and now we'll go to song mode, and we'll let you hear how everything sounds together. And all right, on that note, that was a Rick Ross and Jeezy inspired track, and you've been rocking with your boy DJ Base. If you like this video, if it entertains you, or if you learned anything, don't forget to like, share, comment, and please, most definitely, subscribe to your boy channel, The Beat Break. And I'll see you next time.